To play or not to play? That is the question. Welcome back everyone, I'm Nameless, and we today will look at another game. Pretty interesting game, which was developed by an independent development team called Supergiant Games. And in controversy to the name, they're actually not that big of a company. There's only 7 developers working there, but this game sort of shows how much a few people can still do. The game is supposedly an action role-playing game, which we will try to establish whether that is true or not, because lately there's been a lot of very dubious claims to RPGs around. It feels like it had become far too liberal, and sort of the term RPG has been used far too vaguely in the gaming industry lately. It's like whenever something has a bit of customization, they call it an RPG, and nowadays I can't really even think of any new games that don't have some degree of customization. But still, back on the topic. This game was originally released for the Xbox Live somewhere in the end of July, but recently, a few days ago, it was released for the PC as well, which I personally was quite excited about because I've heard good things about the game, and I've also been informed of some very interesting and surprising features that I actually did not expect in any game, really. Something literally original and unique, something that could grab me by surprise. The options in the game are pretty limited, mainly because it's a Xbox port, and as you may know, Xbox ports usually don't have a wide array of options. The art style of the game is cartoonish though, so it's not really a big deal that there are not 10,000 billion graphic options for you to tamper with, because there's not that much being rendered anyway, which does not diminish the quality of the game at all, because the game looks pretty interesting. It is said to be inspired by anime. Here we can actually see the protagonist on the left sort of sliding along with my cursor. You can even spot probably some similarities with characters like Cloud, maybe even, and other Final Fantasy characters or whatever characters from Japanese anime. The game is not too anime-ish though. I mean, you can trace some motives, some shared motives, but it's not really anime. So if you hate anime, don't worry, the game is not really anime. So yeah, so let's just start playing and see what this game is actually about. It's available on Steam, I think. Not sure, actually. Forgot to check. I'll check later and then write it in the description. I already played a bit just to see if Fraps was agreeing with the game. Everything seemed fine, so I'm hoping that the recording will not fail drastically without even notifying me. So I will just waste a bunch of time doing nothing. Yeah, so let's just start a new game. Yes, I am sure. Ooh, fancy loading bars with weird runic symbols of some sort. Always nice. I actually am a big fan of
proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky.
Okay then. Okay, there's a weird thing here. You're actually supposed to click here to continue the story, and nothing really... Oh, there we go. You have to just wait a bit.
He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
Okay, so here comes the awesomest part of the game. Like, I could think to the WASD keys. Wait a second, there seems to be something. I see. I accidentally switched controls to mouse, and that's not really preferable. You can move apparently you can either choose to move the WASD keys or actually control it with the mouse. I like using the keys, so I'll just stick with that. So I was saying, the awesomest part of this game that it's narrated. Like, as you move on, first of all, this is kind of awesome that the world is sort of being built around you.
Ground forms up under his feet as it point in the way. He don't stop to wonder why.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I actually probably would just stay there, scared shitless. But yeah, the awesome part is that there is full narration of all the stuff you do, and it's not even cutscenes or anything. You just literally play the game, and then there's the narration in the background. I mean, have you ever sort of wanted your life to be narrated? Like, what's you would just hear this awesome deep voice in your head, narrating with fine, well-written English everything you do? Well, then this is the game for you, because that's exactly what's happening. And it's also, as I said, it's pretty well written. It sounds right, and it does not ruin the dynamic of the game, because it's not cutscenes. It just happens while you move on. You'll see. So yeah,
finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road.
See, lifelong friend. So this is Kyle Hammer.
Well, it's a touching reunion.
See, there's this really sort of there's a lot of puns and other implicit humor. I'm a fan of implicit humor. I don't really like explicit, ugly jokes. A lot of the world is destructible. It's not as fancy as, I'd say, like Crisis, but still, you can destroy almost all of this stuff that took ages to build. You can also roll, as you would expect, and
then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
Funny! Morbid humor. Yeah. Now that's the funny thing. Whatever you do, there's like narration for it, and I really love that. I don't know why. I never played a game like this, and obviously in real life this does not happen. So it feels real nice. Wait, does he actually say it again? If he do it again. Okay, great. It doesn't actually say it again, because if they scripted the same line for every time
he sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity.
Yes, the calamity. Apparently some sort of catastrophe. It's gonna be kind of difficult to comment, because also the narration is pretty random. I have no idea when it's gonna come up. So I'm gonna keep quiet unless I actually have something to say, because I really don't want to turn it off, because I think it's one of the best things about this game, and it's really, really cool.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground.
Look at it, like, no, ma'am. I don't know. It's written really nicely. Okay, so this is the combat. The combat is not really fancy. You roll around to dodge.
Kid pops him good.
Yeah.
Starts to feel his bruises though.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Now I have actual health bar. It's really nice. I don't know, the narration gives so much flavor to this game, and it makes it into a true story, like the actual tradition of storytelling. I mean, that's how a story would normally be told.
Kid just rages for a while.
I love it. It's really
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
Oh, look. A machine gun already. Okay, so you're getting more weapons. So for now, it's definitely an action game. It's not really fancy. The moves are simple. There's not many of them, at least for now. It's just a basic roll and hit, just hit and run strategy. But the controls feel amazing. They're very responsive. They do exactly what I want them to do. It's very easy to control the character. And if I actually compare it to bigger titles, to actually expensive titles of the same type, like, I don't know, Dungeon Siege 3, again a hack and slash.
Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting.
Yeah. So
sometimes you just need a drink.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna keep interrupting me now, isn't he? But I really don't want to turn it off, because I think you really have to hear it if you want to
A
get
school of squirts tunnels up around him.
Oh,
must have fled here from the mines.
Come on. Okay, these are squirts apparently. I think I'll just use my gun on them. As you can see, the enemies telegraph their attacks rather obviously, so dodging the attacks is not really difficult. And I actually really like that, because one of the most rewarding things that you can have in combat is dodging all of your opponent's attacks. What's that?
Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her.
Oh, and there goes the romance, of course. Game without romance. What makes sense, I mean, romance and sort of sexual.
It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view.
I love the voice, I love the way the lines are written, and in general feels really good. I'm not so sure if this is an actual RPG though.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did.
That's rather unfortunate. Can we res him?
Then Kid finds his trusty shield.
Apparently not. Hello?
Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here.
Okay, it was not my intention, but I guess. Oh, a shield. Oh look, it's Zelda all over again. So shift to defend.